Hey, it's Lars Hauwert here and welcome to this video. So today I'll be talking about a way of thinking that has made me millions and millions in revenue with e-commerce, and that will probably get you very far as well if you apply this, right? So the thing I'm talking about is first principles thinking, which is honestly vital for your success. When I started out with e-commerce, I used to copy strategies from other successful stores, look at their ads, look at their website design, the different elements, even their products, and I would copy it and I would hope that it would function similarly for me, which most often it didn't, right? And probably for you also it did not. So let's get right into it. So if you don't know who I am yet, I'm Lars. I've built my own e-commerce store, Nancy Home Store, to $9 million in revenue. And now I'm helping other e-commerce store owners to essentially do the same thing. So most people in the e-commerce industry, especially when starting out, operate based on second-hand logic essentially, which essentially just means copying strategies from others, which I also fell victim to myself, honestly. But after I realized that I just needed to focus on first principles and on the key things that actually make people buy, everything just became way more clear and way more simple for me. And the thing I realized was that there's only two things needed essentially to make somebody buy, with the first being value and the second being comfort. So if somebody sees the value in your products and has comfort with your brand, so they trust your brand, they can trust their money with your brand, then essentially you are good to go. So after I realized this, I started to build our entire website just with those two things in my mind. So I started to build our product pages out to show as much value as possible when it comes to displaying the products. So there's not like a secret app that you should be applying, or secret colors, or like certain psychology that should be applied. Of course, you can use psychological principles to influence people to buy from you, but that's usually not going to be the big breakthrough, right? If you just focus on bringing as much value to the table when it comes to displaying your product, showing the specs, basically making your website very fast, making it as easy as possible for people to check out, and then at the same time providing a massive amount of comfort, right? By having social proof elements like displaying logos of maybe companies that you've worked with, maybe magazines that you've been featured in, reviews, customer testimonial videos that they've recorded for you. If you don't have those videos yet, then ask your best customers to record one of those videos for you. That just all massively helps to create way more comfort for those people, right? Because if they see a ton of value in your products, but they're not sure if they're going to pay you, that they're actually going to receive that product, then nobody's gonna ever buy from you, right? So those two elements are essentially the only two things that you'll need to focus on to make your e-commerce store just sell like crazy. And one other fundamental truth also when it comes to this comfort building is follow-up, because many people will not buy from you on the first visit on your website, right? Because they need to get comfortable and get familiar with your brand. So we also recently had a client that basically didn't have any follow-up in place, that didn't really do a whole lot of retargeting either. So essentially, just by adding follow-up through email and SMS, and by adding retargeting, they just increased the amount of comfort that people got from their brand naturally. Because when people see you like 7 different times, then they feel like they know you already. So if you don't have follow-ups in place for email and SMS, and if you don't have retargeting in place, then always make sure to put that in place. I have a very extensive video on email and SMS flows that you should set up. So if you don't know exactly which flows to set up to just create a ton of value and comfort basically for people that are just proven flows, then go to that video. It's somewhere on my channel, so check that out, and you'll just make a ton of extra sales just because of this. So the goal of this video was for me to just tell you to stop copying, stop reacting, stop basically looking at others to basically like base your entire business on. It's always good to take inspiration. I do this myself as well to this day. Take inspiration from big successful competitors, but always boil it down to the first principle of why something is successful and how can you copy that successful element into your own business, right? So this is how I literally built Nancy Home Store, my own multi-million dollar brand. This is how I am also building now dozens of other e-commerce brands. So just think like this, I would say, and it'll help you a ton to just, in the first place, stay rational, and in the second place, just progress like crazy, like nobody else out there, because everyone's copying each other, right? So I hope this makes sense. Let me know if there are questions in the comments down below. I read all the comments myself. Also, there's a link in the description. Feel free to check it out. It talks a little bit about how we help e-commerce stores to grow. I don't mind if you click it or not. I just hope you'll start applying first principles thinking to your e-commerce business from this day moving forward, right? So thank you so much for your attention, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.